Welcome to the live stream. I have you here. The chat's on my phone. The chat is in front of me, and I see some of you guys in here. Let's go in here and make this, well, I can put it on the screen here. Skycam. There it is. Skycam right there. So we're saying hi to Freddie in the chat. So, hi, Joe. And we'll take that off the air. Then I got to go over to my ATEM Mini Pro where I have four things usually, and I have switches to do more. And I got to make a little change in there, but I also need to go in and turn this camera off and the chat on, and then make a transition in OBS. And tonight we're going to be talking about the puzzle pieces for a live stream. And man, sometimes when I walk out there and my wife is doing a puzzle, I get a little bit intrigued with the pieces going together and what the picture looks like. And that's really what it's like when you live stream. Here it is, Tuesday at 4 o'clock. I want to welcome you guys here to the live stream. I saw Freddie in here early, so let's put early bird on the screen. And I was actually using the Skycam to say hi to Freddie. And then Freddie has been emailing back and forth with me. We have conversations in email all week long, and then he joins us for the live. That's pretty cool. And he said the Skycam is pretty cool. You guys probably saw that in the chat. And then Joe from Conjoling Technologies. Let's see, David is here. Hi, David. In the post show, I'm going to be talking a little photography. So I'm sure it's like crazy time in Australia, but thank you so much, David, for being here. Also already kind of reached out to Joe and said hi to you. Natalia Dones in the house, I hope. Natalia, I think I'm pronouncing that right, from Puerto Rico. So great to have you join me. Is this your first time? Let me know. Thank you so much. We have Tony here from Quick Tech Solutions. We also have Hank here from Bluffton, South Carolina. Thanks for joining me, guys. And Freddie says the video and audio is okay. Yeah, I've been having a little issue. We'll talk about that later when we talk about the puzzle pieces. But great to have you. Yes, it is your first time. Well, welcome. So everybody, please greet Natalia. I think I'm pronouncing that right. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. We all want to welcome you and say a big hi. So we're going to do kind of a conversation tonight about the puzzle pieces for live streaming. I really wanted to talk a bit about that. Freddie asked me a question earlier today in email, and I told him that I'll defer that to the live stream tonight. Just want to let you know, Freddie, I do have my tape measure. So again, we're going to talk just a little bit about the puzzle pieces of live streaming tonight. Also want to make sure we get a chance to say hi to everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We are going to have a post show tonight. I'm going to be talking about my creative mindset and how do I keep going. And just so you know, I am going lots of different directions right now. There was a time here not too long ago where I was building this channel and hanging out in the studio and doing some podcasting with my wife and some editing, maybe a few clients, doing some consulting. And by the way, I still do consulting right here in the studio. I just am limited. But all of a sudden, about 7 or 8, 9 months ago, when things started to loosen up here in the Northwest, right, because of all of the restrictions that we had around the world, some of you know that even better than I do. You experienced even greater restrictions. But as that led up, a lot of things are getting semi back to normal, however you want to define normal. And I started getting busy. In fact, I am now working 3 days a week and maybe 3.5 on some days for just one client. And I'm actually working at a local RV dealership, and they have 4 locations across the Northwest, including Oregon. And so I've been kind of working with them, not selling RVs, but doing some social media, doing some consulting, using some of my skill set from being an RV salesperson for 18 years. So anyway, I'm not going to talk a lot about that tonight, but the streaming has changed into actually working outside of the house as well here in the home. So 4 days I'm home, 3 days I'm away. Last week it was 3.5 days I was away. So anyway, I wanted to, yeah, I actually have not put a light back by the TV. This is Joe from Controlling Technology asking me this question. I haven't put a light back by the TV, but I have a little light there on the ground. I don't know if you can see that. Can I get out of the way? Yeah, so there's a little light right there, and I have a little shining light right there. That's one of my overhead lights. In fact, you can see I have this light here in the back, and then I actually have a hair light that's shining on me right here. That's the Elgato Mini key light. And then I have another Godox UL150 shining to create this kind of bright spot here. And it's bleeding. The overhead light is bleeding right there. That's this light right there. So there's a barn door right there. I've repositioned it. And if I close these two barn doors, I won't get that light. But it's kind of cool. We're going to leave it there tonight. So thanks for noticing that. I think I have that on the screen. Yeah, I have that on the screen. So we're going to dive in tonight. Want to talk just about an hour tonight. Then we're going to go into the post show. Ratso is going to be making an appearance. He's going to be testing out the new effects, the vocal effects inside the Rodecaster Pro version 2, and that's in the post show. I actually posted a video surprise this week, and I want to talk about that just for a second before we get into the puzzle pieces for live streaming. But I released a video yesterday, the 4th of July here in the United States, and I guess it's a celebration there in Venezuela, Freddie said. So the 5th of July is Independence Time in Venezuela, and obviously here in the United States, Independence is July 4th. And last night I was at my son and daughter-in-law's house, or actually daughter and son-in-law's house, and I can tell you that there was more fireworks in that neighborhood than I've ever heard in my entire life. And I've been to Disneyland, I have been to fireworks shows, but I'm telling you, we were there for about 3.5 hours, and it was, after about a half hour getting there, somewhere around 5:30, it was nonstop fireworks all around their house. Must have been thousands upon thousands and thousands of dollars of fireworks. So shout out to the 4th here, Independence, and shout out to anyone else that's been celebrating the 4th of July or the 5th of July there in Venezuela. And if you have kind of an independence celebration in the country you're from, I would love to hear from you. So you can put that in the chat, and that would be great. Tony's asking me, how many lights am I using during this live stream? Okay, let's count them. Key light right here, and that is my Elgato key light. Then I have another one right here that's a fill. And then right up here, I can almost touch it with my pen. It's just barely off camera. This is the little key light mini. And then I have this softbox right here that's just filling the room. It's a softbox, and it kind of fills this area. Then I have the two lights in the back, and those are great Video Maker 50 RSs. In fact, they're on sale right now. I almost pulled the trigger on another set yesterday. They're RGB and bicolor. Not super expensive. I think they're on sale for under $300 US. Comes with two of them in a case, and a filter that goes in them. You can barely see it, but it's like a soft filter. So 1, 2, 3. Then we have 4, 5, 6. Then I have two lights back there. One is lighting up Bigfoot. That's Bigfoot right there. So you've got the hide and seek champion, and then next to that is Bigfoot. My son got me that Bigfoot, so I have red light behind him, so it kind of casts a little bit of lights on those rocks, and I'll take the mobile cam back there before we get done tonight. I don't have any lights on my new Batman display. Let's see, can I point at that right here? So that lights up. The batteries that light up the display are needing to be recharged, and I think I can light up the sign, but it is off currently. So 2 in the back. Then I got the Elgato light strip that goes around. Can I do this? This is backwards. Around that corner shelf. So that's the Elgato key light, and it turns on with these other 3 lights on my desk. So 1, 2, 3 on my desk, 1, 2 in the back, 2, what are they? Why can't I think of those little lights I have? I have 2 of those on there, 1 on the TV. That's that one I moved out of the way earlier and showed you, 1 right there. And then there's the TV set, which is kind of a light, right? And then there is the other Godox UL150, and then this Godox softbox UL150. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The lamp, 12. There's LED lights on the window and also around the lamp in this other camera view. This is a long answer to that question. So see the lights right there on the table? They actually go across the window. So the window is also lit up on the bottom with lights, and I'll walk back there in a little while and give you guys a tour. So that is an LED light strip. So I lost track. So you guys will have to give me your guess of how many lights are in here tonight. But that is a great question. So lots of lights, and I want to add more. I do have more. I just haven't been getting them out. And I have one little USB light here on. I think you guys can see that if I switch cameras again. So there's a light right here behind Boba Fett and his partner, and then you have the Batmobile and all that stuff here on the shelf. Got the Sky Cam up here, and it's got a little LED light on it. So I guess that counts as a light. So lights everywhere. So I hope that helps you out. So now let me just preface this next statement. Let's just see here. So did I miss anything else? Yeah, and then I have the biggest light of all, the sun out my window. So thanks for pointing out the obvious. Joe, as usual, you're hilarious. And thanks for answering. Yeah, and then last week we actually got a nice compliment. I can't remember, it was the live show or, yeah, it was only the live show last week. So in the live show, someone asked about this camera, which is the Canon 5D Mark IV. And I have an L lens. We pointed that out last week. It's the 24-70 2.8. Version 2, because Canon has a number of versions of that lens, including a RF mount version now that goes with the new camera mounts in Canon, because they've changed everything up. So if I want to use these lenses on my EOS R, and this is my EOS R, if I can get it changed all the way, I have to use an adapter to go from EF to RF. And so, yeah, it's quite a endeavor. And I love that the light's outside, and it stays light here till like 9:30 now, and it'll slowly start getting dark. We're kind of coming over the hump into July, and that's exciting. So, yeah, and then there's a light in my logo, so a little light bulb there on the screen. So, yeah, I guess we should have a contest. And then here's Freddie's question that he asked me earlier today. I told him I was going to wait for this. So I try to sit right about here. And what I'm doing is I'm framing myself, and you guys can see the frame. So I'm just trying to have just about a little over an inch above my head or so. Try to keep part of my arms in frame. It just gets some contrast. I wish I had a place I could move this PSA 1 from Rode. It's the boom arm, and they're great, right? It's squeaky now because I've been wearing it out over 2.5 years. But he's asking me how far I am from the camera. So I guess, so if you're measuring focus, I'm not going to touch the glass. I do have a UV filter on there. But from my face to the UV filter, I'm at 33 inches, Freddie. So 33 inches to my face to the UV filter. And the UV filter is just a few centimeters away from the actual lens. And then obviously I have light here, then I have fill light here, and then a little bit of separation light here on my shoulder. And then I also have separation light right here. So all of those things are part of this. So when you're live streaming, right, you have to obviously think about it a little bit different than shooting a video. In fact, I've done so much live streaming this last year since we added the post show, and more people are on, more questions are being fired at me, ad-libbing quite a bit more in my live streams. I've kind of gotten rusty in shooting videos. Like I said, I just produced a video on the HyperDeck shuttle. I wanted to focus on the teleprompter feature. And so I shot that Saturday and Sunday. Then I edited it Sunday afternoon and Monday. Little did I know that Blackmagic Design came out with a new 8.1.1 update to a lot of their newer HyperDecks. So no update for the old HyperDeck Studio Mini, but there is an update for most of the newer HyperDecks, kind of in the price range where a lot of us have been experimenting. And they're supposed to do some updates to that. I've done a little testing today. In fact, spent about 2.5 hours updating my software in my laptop. So I did the update firmware in my HyperDeck Studio HD Plus. I did the firmware update in my shuttle, and I've played a little around with my shuttle, and I've played around a little bit with my Studio HD Plus. And I can tell you that I have some good news and some bad news, but that doesn't mean that I haven't made a mistake in what I was doing. And so we're going to talk about that here shortly. But I wanted to first say this: if you are taking any notes tonight, and if you've never gone live, I wanted to give you a couple things that you could potentially write down. What millimeter am I set at from my main camera? Man, that's great. I don't really do math in millimeters. What did I say? 32 inches? So let's try that again. I do want to acknowledge your guys' questions. So my chin's right there. So yeah, 34, 35. I guess I was off. And so converted into inches, that's like 88. I think that's millimeters, right? So sorry, those of you that don't use feet and inches and yards, you use centimeters and millimeters, and I totally get that, in liters. I just have only played around with that. The United States never really made the transition like they said that they were going to do when I was in high school. So I actually studied it in high school, but haven't really had much chance to use it. So I hope that answers your question. You're welcome, Freddie. Okay, so my fill light and my key light are Elgato key lights. The reason for that is I can program the Stream Deck to run them, so I can turn those lights off. And you can see all the lights behind me when I do that, including the television set. And I can turn them back on, and 4 lights go on and off. The LED strip, the key light, the fill light, that are both Elgato key lights. The hair light is a Elgato mini key light, so it's about yo big. And those other lights are quite a bit bigger. They're 25 or 2400 lumens. I think this is 900 lumens or 700, I can't remember. That's the hair light. So both of these, and I have this one brighter than the fill light, because the key light is to light up this part of my face, and the fill light is just to bring some light here and not give me too much gray. But the key light and the fill light kind of light me up quite a bit. So I hope that answers your question. .24 mil to 70 is my main lens. So that is my walk-around lens. It came with my Canon 5D Mark IV, at least when I ordered it. Over here I have my 24 to 105, and that's an f4. This is an f2.8. That's what Tony was asking earlier, and I messed that up. Okay, so Freddie says 33 inches are about 83 centimeters. Well, that's good to know. And there is 84 coming from Hank, right? And let's see. Well, I am. How did that happen? I must have changed something, but yeah, I am streaming at 3110. So I must have something set at HyperDeck high. Let's look. Oh, yeah. I am set to HyperDeck high. I'll have to change that before we go live in the post show. Yeah, I have about 100 megs up here when it's working right. And I was recording my videos at HyperDeck high. So you're actually seeing me stream right now at HyperDeck high, which I wouldn't recommend. So talking about puzzle pieces for a live stream, that's one of the things that you need to be considered. So let's make a list. So number one, if you're going to live stream, you need to be concerned about internet, right? You need to have a signal to be able to stream up and down. Now, I've done a lot of streaming from my phone, so I can hook up to a network at a building I'm at wirelessly, and if they have enough bandwidth, then I can stream at a bandwidth. Let's hit record. Probably not going to hit record tonight because who knows, might blow up my ATEM Extreme ISO. So again, so I can stream from my phone, and usually when I was streaming on Facebook in those days, I was streaming at 720p, which is really what Facebook will stream at, even though you can go up to Facebook at 1080p, and then you could download that 1080p version later. My experience is it's only going to be 720p live stream. Now over on YouTube, you can stream at a higher frame rate and also a higher size, like you can stream high def, you can stream 4K. I have not tried to stream 4K ever from my studio, but you do need to have bandwidth, and we know that we're able to do 32 megabytes. I better not move around a lot because it's going to go up even higher. But the bottom line is you have to have internet. So puzzle piece number one, if you're going to go live, you're going to have internet. Now then, number two, you have to have some kind of tool. Now, a lot of people think you have to have a DSLR camera, you have to have an ATEM Mini or ATEM Mini Pro, or you have to have a really expensive laptop or a PC or a Mac or a MacBook Pro. But you can even stream from an iPad or an iPhone. So you could start live streaming right from your phone as long as you have a decent amount of internet, and you don't have to stream on YouTube at 1080p. I do that just because there's people watching my channel that I think would be less impressed if I wasn't doing at least 1080p. And I do want to start streaming 4K sometime in the near future because I really think we're going to start seeing that, and I don't want to be late to that party, and some people are already streaming at 4K. So number one, wireless. Number two, some tool like an iPhone, an Android phone, a laptop. You can stream with the camera on your laptop. You can stream with the cameras on your phone, either side. And this is an iPhone 13 Pro, not the Max. And it is a very, 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 very powerful tool. And so you can stream from it. You can stream from an iPad. You can stream from anything that has a camera and a computer in it, and it has a connection to wireless. And then you don't have to necessarily buy software. Most of you probably know this, but you can go live from the apps. You can go live from YouTube, from the camera on your phone, or the camera from your laptop. You don't have to have a switcher. You don't have to have all these tools. You literally just need a tool with a camera and the ability to connect to the internet. Number three, you need some way to get the audio going to the live stream. Now that could be the microphones on your phone. That could be the microphone in your laptop or your PC if you had some kind of microphone plugged into it, like a USB microphone. Or you can actually get an interface, and they make interfaces for about $150 now, even less expensive. In fact, Rode has an interface right now. It's out in my backpack in the living room, which I've been taking on the road with me. But they actually make a little device that you can plug into your phone or your iPad or even into your PC now, and you could take a Rode Lav Plus microphone, which is about $50, $59, $60 US. you can plug that in, and actually you can plug 2 of those microphones in, plug that into your phone, and now you have lapel microphone. And now it's tethered, it has a cord, but you could use that. So $125 for 2 lav mics, again, the Rode Lav Pluses, and then you're ready to go. You could have you and someone else on with a single camera image. Obviously, the better picture would come from these lenses rather than the lenses on this side. But when I was doing live production before, live streaming before, I was using my camera as a monitor and the camera facing me when I'm looking at my phone as my main camera and streaming 720p. I would now turn it around if I was using it live and not have a monitor, frame it, and then just go live and look into the lens. Now, right now with this camera, using a DSLR, you have to bump up your equipment, and we're going to talk about that here shortly. But I wanted to make it very clear that with some wireless internet or a network in your house and a PC hooked to that, you can then actually go live. And no buffering either. So you can go live with a smartphone or a pad, and you don't have to have an iPad. You can actually use an Android device just as easily. You can go live on YouTube directly to their app. You can go live on Facebook directly to their app. And then there's a lot of other social media places that you can go live. You can even now go live on Amazon and get yourself an account and sell products on Amazon, have people clicking on your links, and then you might make some coinage. In fact, I am an Amazon affiliate / associate. And so when you do use the links on my videos that say they're Amazon links, you pay the same, and I actually get some funds. I think I got a coupon about a week and a half ago for like $17. Haven't used it yet, but I use that a lot of times to add money towards these devices that I purchase in my studio. So by far it doesn't pay for them, but it's nice to have that available to me. So wireless internet, some kind of device with a camera that can attach to the internet and then access either YouTube or Amazon or Facebook or all of the other sites that you can stream from. Then a microphone, right, to get better audio. And then the last thing is some lights. Obviously, if I didn't have these lights on, then it doesn't look good. I've literally been in Zoom meetings where someone had a window behind them, and this is what it looks like. Now their camera tries to adjust to make them look right, but without light, you know, you can't really get a very good picture. Now I have my camera set to auto ISO, and what that means is that as the light goes up and down, my camera automatically adjusts the sensitivity of the sensor so that it can get the right amount of light. So you can set it for manual, but because I'm always flipping lights or leaving lights on by accident, I have simply set it to auto ISO. And your phone automatically detects the light, and you can use an app like Filmic Pro, or you can get a product like DJI sells, an action camera, a pocket camera, and those now can actually stream from the device to your phone. And you can also now hook microphones up to them. And so you can actually have good audio, a portable camera. Even now the Pocket has a gimbal built into it and stabilization, and it actually will track your face. And I have the old DJI mobile, or Pocket camera. I also have the old DJI action camera, and now they have a version 2 of both of those with better updates and better features. And again, if you want to continue buying those and buying the new version every time it comes out, then go for it. But I have not done that. And I use those tools almost all the time when I'm out mobile shooting, because it's nice to have a small camera that will shoot 4K and be able to have a gimbal built into it so that I don't have to get out my big DJI Ronin S and hook one of my big cameras up to it. I can just shoot on the fly when I'm traveling. So again, wireless, a device that can stream, iPhone, iPad, one of those devices like a GoPro that has streaming built into it, or the DJI products. You could even stream to the new DJI cameras. I mean, the drones, you can stream to them. And then you need to be able to get that up to a channel, and you can go direct from those devices to Facebook or YouTube or any of those other places. Now, what do you need to do as far as lights for mobile? Well, I'm going to grab one here. I'll be right back. You could just simply get a light like this. I have it set for yellow. And this is the little MC light. And it's by Aperture. You can see Aperture right here on the light. And so you can get these, and you can buy one of those mounts and hook two of these together. You could probably get like a piece of steel or tin and put three of these, because they have magnets on them, or four of these on the back of that tin. In fact, actually, they make some devices that you can actually put in a super clamp and have four of these stuck on there. I just like to stick these places, and I can change the color temperature on these lights. So they are bicolor. And so you can get a simple light like this that you can change colors on, change brightness on, and this is chargeable either by setting it on a charger or USB-C. And so a simple light like this on top of a camera or on a really inexpensive light stand, because this really does have a little threaded mount there, you can screw this on a light stand and have your phone on one light stand using a clamp, like the Joby clamp for phones, smartphones, and then this could be next to it on another light stand, or you could get a mount that you could put more than one thing on. Like they make a new Joby phone mount that has a cold shoe on the top, and then you just need a cold shoe adapter to hook onto that. You screw it in here, then you stick it on top of that cold shoe, the same shoe that's on top of cameras, and then you tighten it up and you have a light. So now you have a iPhone on a mount with a light on it, and now you can get some light on your face. And if you're pretty close to the camera, these little lights will do really well. Now, do realize that when you turn a light on that close, turn this puppy back on. Very yellow, but if you get it really close, it's going to be kind of washing you out. So you really want to get the key light up like the sun and down on you. In fact, right now, this is kind of like sun on my face. And you can change the color temperature of these little lights, and they're about $100 for one of these lights. And I love them because you can charge them, and you can set them up as lights in the background. We'd call these just, what are they called? Practical lights, because it just looks cool with a little light right there between the table and that TV set. So let's take a break here and just talk a little bit about your questions, and then we're going to talk about what are you going to do if you want to go multiple cameras. Then what are your options for live streaming, and do you really need to have more than one camera? Maybe the second device you're going to want is to be able to share a image from your PC, or have a graphic like my logo on there that you can turn on and off. Then that means you have to go to the next level and have some type of software where you can get more than one camera in there. Now, also, you have USB cameras, and that's just like my Skycam. So if I was to switch right now back to, oh, I can't turn that on right now. But if I was to switch to my Skycam, that's a USB camera. It does 1080p video, and that could be plugged into a Mac or a PC, laptop, or a MacBook Pro, and you can then use it. There's also some devices that are out there that you can plug a USB camera in, that you can have multiple USB cameras in, so we'll talk about that in a minute. So let me go back here through the chat, because I see a lot of things happening here. So I think I can put chat on the air right here. Oh, so persistence pays off. I'm just under 35. So somewhere between 28 and 35, leaning towards, it looks to be about 34, maybe 33 and a half is where I'm set. So sorry that I didn't catch that earlier. Tony? So he's got his notebook out. So yeah, So I hope you'll write some of these things down when we get to some of the advanced stuff, or maybe this basic stuff is important to you. But I will say that I do have some recommendations if you're going to do USB cameras. I have 2 in my studio. I have the traditional Logitech right here that's pretty much all over every type store. And then I have the face cam, which is also a great camera, and that's from Elgato, and it does not have any focusing built into it, but it does have a really good picture if you're about a foot to 4 feet away, and it makes a great camera. So yeah, well, my son is in the house, but he has cable. So my wife is gone at a home visit, so hopefully no one before we get off the air decides to download anything. So Freddie's saying he uses 11 to 20, and he uses 18 for his main shot. Wasn't wondering what's Keith's settings because, oh, that's actually Tony. So cool. What lens is that, Tony? What brand of lens do you have? Scroll down here some more, catch up with the chat. And I'm using full frame cameras, if that's a question from you to me, Freddie. With the exception of the Logitech and the face cam, they're not full frame sensors, but all 3 of my cameras are 5D Mark IV Canon, 5D Mark III Canon, and the EOS R. All are Canon full frame sensors. Good to have you, Bill. Sorry I missed you. I just been getting into that puzzle piece list for basic streaming. Tony's answering Freddie. He has a crop sensor, so we'd love to know maybe the details of that, Tony, tonight. We're all curious. Hi, Ashley. Good to have you tonight. Thank you for joining me. She's talking about Joe's stream. Hey, TVJ, DJ Ware, it's great to have you guys. Thank you for joining me. Some highs back to those guys. You are buffering. Yeah, I am buffering now. So if we lose the stream, I guess we're going to be done early because I can't switch it up now that I'm live. And I don't have a backup stream, so cool, the buffer went off. I will try not to move too much. And minor buffering happening. Yeah, I have it set. I checked the settings, but I did not see that I was streaming at HyperDeck High. So thank you, Freddie. I would appreciate it if you guys hit the like button. And Tony says he's using the Tokina 11 to 20, and it's a fixed 2.8. Well, and that's exactly like my lens. It is a 24 to 70 fixed 2.8, and I love it. So now it is a zoom lens, but it also doesn't change apertures. I have an error message up here now, so hopefully if I do lose you, we will move over to the post show. So we'll see my error. So let's talk again about, and yeah, I'm not recording. And I will be setting the stream back for Ratso later. So if you don't know who Ratso is a ventriloquist puppet. Everybody always likes me to bring him on, and he will be in the post show for a short appearance. There are other people who are going to join the post show, so it will start on time at 5:20 if we lose the stream, and I apologize if we do lose this stream. I wish I had a way to do a backup stream, but I'm not set up tonight to do a backup stream real quickly. And then thank you so much, Tony, for the super chat. That's for answering I was looking for regarding the lens. Haha, thanks, Keith. Yeah, so I did answer what kind of lens. Thank you so much. Again, super chats, I appreciate those. Those help build the channel. And Freddie's excited also about Radso. So I'm gonna turn the chat off the air and let's dive in. So when you want to go to multiple cameras, the puzzle pieces are a little different, right? Because if you want to bring in your PC, you can do that by using a piece of software called OBS. Now, OBS is freeware, and OBS will run on a PC or a Macintosh. So you would just type in OBS Studio and search for it. And the nice thing about OBS is that you can bring in the camera from your laptop. You could bring a USB camera in. You could also bring in your audio from your laptop or a USB microphone. So you can go live with OBS, share your desktop, share fonts, graphics, play a video, all through OBS. And so let's slide over this screen here real quick. And I'm going to bring up OBS here real quickly. And I make my intro video and my outro videos every week in OBS. So a shout out to that tool. It is a great tool. I'm going to see if OBS opens up here. Give it a second. I'm going to grab a sip. Got my favorite drink in there without having the bottle and the label out. Okay, so let me bring OBS up on the screen here real quickly. Let's see how I want to do that. I think I want to use Super Source here, so let me set it up real quick. And I'm going to change what is in. So what I'm using right now is a A10 Mini Extreme ISO. And what that does, it gives me the ability to use Super Source. And so Super Source is actually the ability to put 4 boxes or 3 or 2 or even just 1, but you can do it all through that app. Let me just change the box here in my software. Go to box 2 and make it my desktop. There we go. Let me make sure I have the background in there. I do, and it looks good. So we'll just switch this right now. So there is OBS. So the cool thing about OBS, and this is my setup, you can see that that's my still image. That's for the post show. So a little bit of advertisement for the post show. Again, Radso is down in the corner, and I'm going to talk about my creative mindset and how I keep myself motivated. And we'll talk about that in the next live stream. But again, I use OBS so I can create all these different scenes on the left right here. I can create sources here that could be a USB camera. It could be text. It could be a Skycam, like I have my Skycam connected to my PC. So that's in OBS that I have open right now. And so I can use that, and you can see I'm getting audio levels in OBS because it's picking up my microphone. So this microphone goes into my Rodecaster Pro version 2, and then that is a interface. So it has a USB cable going into my laptop, and my laptop audio is now picking that up. And so I have it inside my recording. So I can go over here and record. I can go live from OBS. So OBS could be a very inexpensive, because again, it's free. It's just the learning curve of learning how to use it. Could be a very inexpensive device for you to go live, be able to share your laptop, be able to share multiple boxes, because I can go in here and make these boxes whatever size I want. So if I don't want this full screen, let me lock them here real quick. Not sure what I just moved here, but if you go through here and you lock everything except for what you want to move, then you can resize. And I got lots of different things on here because I use this for a lot of them. So if I go up here, where is my still image? Right there. So I'm going to unlock my still image. And so let's try that again. So I could make this still image smaller. And so now I could have another device up here, like a camera, and I could have another picture in the background. So I'm doing Super Source right now using a not so inexpensive A10 Mini Extreme ISO. Retails for around $1,300 when they're not on sale, and they had a big sale not too long ago at $1,000. I didn't pick up an extra one. I should have. So you can use this as a tool. So that's one way for you to go live. So you can go live from that. Again, you'd have to have internet attached to your network or directly to your PC. You would have to have a camera on your iPad or on your laptop or your MacBook Pro or whatever you're using. And you can also use OBS in a PC. And so if your PC does not have a camera, you would have to add a USB camera to it. You can also then go to the next level, and I've talked about that before. I may have packed it, but no, here it is. You can use a cam link. This is by Elgato, and so the same people that make the Stream Deck, this right here, and actually the face cam, sorry, it's not DJI, it's Elgato. This will actually let you plug in a USB cable, HDMI cable on this side coming from your camera. So if you have a camera that you can come out HDMI into a device, this will convert your video from your camera to USB. And you really need USB-C, that's why it's blue, so you need a pretty fast port. But now this would let you bring a traditional DSLR in. And so this is how I started. I first started using my iPhone. Then when I got into my first studio here in the house, which was in my bedroom, using the same desk, I started using my Canon 5D Mark III, and I could stream for about 30 minutes, and then that camera would time out, and it's already timed out while we've been sitting here. And so I can just reach up and turn it back on. But this will also let you bring in a DSLR. Now, this takes up a lot of bandwidth and PC power, so I'm not sure you could pull off two of these. If you want to have two cameras coming in, then you have to do something like an ATEM Mini or another device, and Roland makes a switcher. There's lots of switchers out there that are available, and a switcher is designed to have multiple cameras come in and then switch. You can also buy a card from Blackmagic Design that would plug into a PCI slot in your PC or your Macintosh, and then it will let you bring in cameras inside your PC. It'll also let you do outputs out of your PC. So like a DeckLink Duo card, you can use those. They have an HDMI card for bringing in HDMI only. They have the DeckLink card for bringing in SDI and SDI out. So if you want to have a confidence monitor on a big screen, you can do that with a DeckLink card. So those are tools that you can use. You could use a USB face cam in your laptop and your laptop camera. And if your PC's fast enough or your laptop's fast enough, you could have two cameras and still share your desktop, still put graphics on the screen. So you would be able to do this, bring that graphic on or off using OBS. So a great tool. In fact, I use OBS every stream for the chat. So if I bring chat back on the screen right now, this is OBS from my PC. Are the HDMI switches going to be on the list? Yeah, we'll talk about those just a second, Joe. And then Elgato also makes the Stream Deck, and the Stream Deck, there's lots of different sizes. I have the big version, but it has the ability not only run lights, but you also can do switching inside OBS. So now you can use the Stream Deck and program buttons to turn on lights, to turn a microphone on, microphone off, switch cameras, put a font up, start a video, automatically play a bunch of photographs in a PowerPoint presentation. OBS has the ability to play still images. So there's lots of things that you can do with a Stream Deck. But again, these are the nuts and bolts of streaming. So a camera, internet, the ability to go live on one of the channels like YouTube or Facebook or any of those. You could go on Amazon. You could also use these cameras and these tools to do meetings like Zoom. Google Go to Meets, Microsoft Meetings, all of those things, you could do that. Just like going FaceTime on an iPhone with a friend. And now I hear the iPhone will give you the ability to watch a video with someone else. So you can watch something on your phone while someone else is watching with you remotely. And I've heard recently, I haven't played with it, but you're supposed to be able to actually bring guests in some of the apps now on an iPhone, bringing them in remotely. So that is another cool thing that you can do with smartphones. And things are getting faster and more efficient, and the internet's getting faster. Hopefully you won't need that kind of bandwidth. But the bottom line is there are so many tools out there for you to go live, and there's lots of little nuts and bolts that go into going live. So any question about those tools, about lights, about streaming, about cameras, lenses, things I have in my studio, I'll be happy to answer those. Let's take a little bit of Q&A. So I want to put this up there. Joe says, if you stop streaming on the ATEM, change the settings, then start again, YouTube will pick it right back up. Just don't hit the end stream. Oh, I didn't know that. So if I do drop, I will change the settings and go live again from my ATEM Mini. We'll just see what happens. And no, I have never streamed to Twitch. So, but you can stream to Twitch. So there's lots of different things. Thank you so much for that super chat, Hank. I appreciate it very, very much. No questions. So I'll just give you a shout out. Leave that on the screen for a little bit. If you don't know what super chat is, if it's available, it's in the chat below. And you can choose super chat or super sticker. And it's just a way to have your question come to the very top, or a sticker just to celebrate. And I will try to always acknowledge those because I really, really appreciate it. In fact, because of those of you that have given me super chats and supported the channel, because of super chat, and now that I have ads enabled, because I have over 1,000 subscribers now, we're approaching 1,300 subscribers. I've literally seen us get anywhere from 58 to like $98 in some of the months since I've been enabling advertisements. So thank you so much for those of you that consume the videos, who join me on the live streams, and also those of you who have given me super chats. Now, a big chunk of that money from last month was from super chats. I think 2 weeks ago when Ratso was on, I think there was over $52 came in super chat. So thank you guys so much for that. And thank you, Hank, for that super chat. So any other questions that you guys have? I do want to show you this video. And so let's change super source to, let's see, I will be using ATEM Mini. And if I switch right now, don't want that, turn chat off the air. Sorry about that disaster. Cool. So let me switch to super source right now. And I actually rendered this. What is going on here? Why am I on here? Man, everything just went crazy here. Why is it on there twice? Chat off the air. Let's do something here real quick. Let's go connections, ATEM Mini Pro, connect. Nothing on in there. That is weird. Connections, ATEM Mini Extreme. Let's turn that off the air. Still on there twice. I apologize for that. So let's not use, let's see, maybe I have some other cameras on here in super source. Yep. So let's turn that camera off and that camera off. Sorry about that. Okay. So this is my HyperDeck. I'm going to hit play. I actually rendered this video in DaVinci Resolve H.264. Now, I've tried to render videos to my HyperDeck in the past, but I was not able to do it. So a shout out to Blackmagic Design for this release on Sunday. HyperDeck update 8.1.1. So you have to remove your HyperDeck software from your PC or your Mac After you reboot, you can then download the new version, and then you have to open up the HyperDeck software in your PC or your Mac, and then click on the updates on your HyperDecks. I was able to update my HyperDeck Studio HD Plus, and then that is my HyperDeck shuttle. So believe it or not, now you can get the free version of DaVinci Resolve in a PC and render it H.264. Now, on the other hand, I was not able to get H.264 render from my Adobe Premiere software to work in the HyperDeck shuttle or the HyperDeck Studio HD Plus. Now, I don't know why that is, but the update also says that they made some fine tuning to the shuttle for scrolling, and that's pretty amazing. And then you also have the ability to enable the teleprompter. And so we're going to do that right now. I'll switch back. And so if you want to enable teleprompter mode, you got to turn the menu on. And then I've got to go to full screen here so I can see the menu. And then in the menu, you're just going to change the codec from H.264, and there you can see I have it set to H.264. It's playing a video. I think it's the first time I've ever been able to render a H.264 file out of software and get it to play. If I record on the HyperDecks, they play fine. If I record in H.264, they'll play fine. But if you try to render them in software, they haven't, but now they do work in DaVinci Resolve. So if I hit set, and then I scroll all the way down, and this is in my new video I just released, and I hit teleprompter. Then now I have the teleprompter, and here is, hit menu. Here is that menu again to get rid of it. Then here is that update from Blackmagic. Here is the 8.1. Here are the different HyperDecks that have been upgraded. And then right here you see the shuttle. Here is the improvements on the shuttle, improved ability when jogging or shuttling clips. And what that means is that you can hit the right or left arrow and change clips. I have more than one teleprompter file on here. These are all from the documentation from the Adobe file that you can download from Blackmagic Design on the shuttle, the HyperDeck shuttle. So go back here to the update and scroll down here, and I'm just using the scrolling wheel. So update applies to the HyperDeck Studio HD Mini, the Studio HD Plus, the Studio HD Pro, the HyperDeck Studio 4K Pro, which is one of the tools I want to add to my studio, and then improve playback for rendering H.264 clips. Mainly, I think that's DaVinci Resolve. I have not seen it work with Adobe. You guys will have to test it on Final Cut Pro. I'd love to hear from you. Those of you that use a Mac, I would love to know. And then improvements on the shuttle, improved stability with jogging, improved teleprompter text reading, general performance and stability improvements, and then no new features in 8.1 for the HyperDeck models. And then here are some of the different computer software that they will work with. I can't think of the name right now. And then it tells you how to install the HyperDeck utility right here, and third-party software support for Mac right there. Additional information right here. Some applications may use third-party code under license. For details, please refer to the included third-party license document. So keep that in mind. But again, I'm using the teleprompter feature inside my HyperDeck. And then the cool thing is Adam Tao created a shortcut. And if I open up his shortcut, and there's links in the video that I uploaded on the teleprompter yesterday. So if I click on the HyperDeck file format shortcut, I should be able to go back to H.264, see if it works. There it goes. So I was able to just switch by using a shortcut on my iPad, which is great. So hopefully it'll work more often. It didn't work all the time when I was using it in my video when I was recording, but it makes things a lot faster in the studio to be able to tap on a shortcut and then choose what codec. I can actually go back to teleprompter mode real quickly by just scrolling down, and it's at the very top. And there you go, I'm back to teleprompter mode. So that's a fast way to switch without having to go through this cute little menu. So I haven't played with all the updates, but I am running 8.1.1 right here in the studio right now for this live video. I wanted you guys to see that tonight so that you know that I am in the loop. I did already produce my video. It's already released, and I can teleprompt right here on the back screen behind me. And let's hit scroll, and there you go. On the screen behind me, instead of multi-view, you have my HyperDeck. So I'll hit stop and let that sit there. So that is kind of a look at the new update from Blackmagic Design on the HyperDeck. Did not expect that. I will have to do some more testing and then do another video. I have started a brand new playlist here on the channel, so check that out. The unboxing video I did live, and now the HyperDeck Shuttle HD teleprompter video that I did. I'll also show you how to create a rich text format file using Microsoft Word. You can also use other software that will be able to export in an RTF format. So that's all you need to do. You do want to switch the background to black, and you do want to be able to have white lettering. Now I can also flip this, which I demoed in my video, but if I go to the second screen and hit set, I can scroll down here and flip this, and I can also go up and flip it horizontally. So if you're wondering how you're going to use this feature, if you have a regular teleprompter and things have to be flipped, well, there you go. I just turned it upside down and flipped it horizontally and vertically, and you can do one or the other or none at all. And of course, in my studio, I definitely don't need it on. So second screen down here, oops, record, hit set under monitor. And then I can also increase the size of fonts. And so we'll turn these off, and you can see a whole demo of how to do that in my video I just released. So let's switch back to SuperSource. So there's the menu system. There's the page where you do the flipping. So you can just choose any one of these, flip horizontal, change the size of the fonts, change the line spacing. You can set the margins. You can flip it horizontally and vertically, and it's done right there in the menu. So if I exit out of that and then scroll again, I can bring that teleprompter video down or up. And again, those features are built right in the teleprompter, and you can check out my video that breaks it down and shows you how to make a rich text format file. And really, in reality, I can do a PNG file in Photoshop as fast as I can do a text file. And you can just copy and paste from your notes if you're teaching a class, or you can type out whatever you want to say. But the cool thing about this feature is you can actually copy things from the release information from these different products. And if you're sharing that in your video, you can just copy and paste what you want on your teleprompter right before you go live. And you can do all that in about 5 minutes if you just know what you want to share. If you're not trying to invent it all and type it out, then it's really easy to copy and paste. And all of those things that I showed you tonight, all of these files are just copied from the PDF that you can download from Blackmagic Design. And all of these are ready to be used, either scrolling or whatever. So, and then if I just hit back on this quick link, I can switch right back to H.264, and there you go. The video's back up, and I can hit play, and that video is going to play. So I hope that helps you a little bit about the update for the HyperDeck. We're going to roll out here in just a few minutes, but let me look at the chat. And good to see you, Lieutenant A.K. Allen. I think I said hi to you earlier. Let's switch back here and turn chat back on the screen here. Should be able to bring that up there. So it's good to see you. I did not plan on streaming HyperDeck High tonight. I recorded yesterday or Sunday and Saturday my HyperDeck shuttle video on the teleprompter, and I forgot to change it back, because when you record in your A10 Mini ISO, Extreme ISO, you get a really high-end recording, and that's what I was attempting to do. So it was not on purpose. Okay, so stop and think. Hank wants to say, just want to say, shout out to the technical support staff at Elgato. They work hard to resolve technical issues and spend all the time necessary to help. I was very, very impressed. So cool. That's a good shout out to the guys at Elgato. Thank you. I hope you'll enjoy that video. I actually got a comment today about how simple it seems. And yeah, it was really easy to use the shuttle. I was a little intimidated on making teleprompter files. I had no clue, did a little research. There's not a lot out there. That's why I did that in my video. I want anybody who has a copy of Microsoft Word to know how easy it is. And in reality, the steps are right there. I even have arrows so you know where to click inside Microsoft Word so that you can get things going. So I hope you guys do enjoy that video. I did spend some time on it, and it's the first video other than the unboxing that I did on the shuttle. Okay, so I think I got everybody's comments. So thank you guys so much for being in a live stream. And we're going to roll out so that I can get Ratso ready to be in the post show. We're going to do a little testing of the voice features available in the Rodecaster Pro version 2. If you do not know anything about the Rodecaster Pro, I've had the Rodecaster Pro 1 in my studio now for almost a year and a half, I think, almost 2 years probably. And then I have the new Rodecaster Pro version 2. And in reality, when I did the live stream talking about the Rodecaster Pro and that I ordered it and didn't even have one in my studio, that video is one of the hottest live streams I've had on the channel for a long time. But there's also an unboxing video here on my channel where I unboxed it and I hooked it up live, believe it or not, with some help from the chat. So you can go back and look at that last, I think it's my last post show. I hooked up the Rodecaster Pro live in the post show. So we're going to get Ratso ready. We're going to talk about the mindset. How do I keep the creative mindset going? What are some of the formulas I use? I shared one in the notes. We're going to talk about a couple more formulas that I use to be able to keep the creativity flowing, because if you're ever going to be in communicating with anybody, especially in groups, it could be teaching, it could be doing Zoom training, it could be doing live streaming, you could be doing hands-on training with people. But the creative mind and the creative mindset are super important. So we're going to dive a little bit deep into that in the post show after Ratso makes his appearance. So I hope you'll join me there. So yeah, I flip back and forth between the HyperDeck High and Streaming High based on I'm recording or streaming. So yeah, so I forgot to flip back. So sorry about that, Tony. And I'm glad you're looking forward to seeing Ratso. So guys, I'm going to roll the outro. Thank you so much for joining the live. Those of you that were first timers, thank you as well. It is always an honor to be here with you to talk about the live streaming. I have lots of videos here about live streaming, but I wanted to break down some of the basic puzzle pieces. If you want to get even more extreme, you can look at the Blackmagic devices like the A10 Mini, the A10 Mini Pro, the A10 Mini Pro ISO. There's also other devices out there. We talked about Roland. Aaron Prucky is doing a lot of videos about a device that is very mobile. It's both a monitor as well as the ability to bring in USB cameras, all kinds of cool things. And there's other tools out there as well that you can use to live stream. I'm using an A10 Mini Pro in my studio and also an A10 Mini Extreme ISO. I have 3 cameras live right now, not counting my Skycam. So lots of things going on. I have more than one microphone set up in my studio all the time. I have a podium microphone right there in case I'm doing a class and I want a microphone away from me. So I have that microphone, I have this microphone, and I have lapel microphones that I can add in to a training or a consulting event. I can do that right here from the studio. So there's other ways to stream both inside your studio and remotely. And so we will talk more about those in a live stream in the future. But I hope that helps you out, knowing some of the tools that you can stream with, as simple as a phone or your laptop and your iPad, or you can actually start adding cameras, higher end lights. But there are some inexpensive tools out there, so please check them out. Also visit some of the videos on my channel. I have a playlist on lighting. I have a playlist on mix effect, where I had Adam Tao, the designer of mix effects, which I use right here to change channels. I'm gonna roll my outro video here in seconds from Mix Effects, so check out those videos as well. And we'll be back with Ratso here shortly. I am Keith. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you guys for the comments, the questions, as well as the super chats. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you'll join me again here next Tuesday for just a live show. We'll go a little bit longer and next week, because there is no post show. It's every other week. And I think I hear Ratso. Oh, Ratso's under my desk. What? I know I got to go. He's telling me I got to get off the air. So thank you guys. I will see you in the post show. I hope you'll stick around. I found the button. It's right there in Mix Effect.